In 2011, a small Indonesian film with a budget smaller than most Hollywood catering costs unleashed the most bone-crushing, visceral action ever captured on camera. The raid didn't just raise the bar for action cinema. It obliterated it, then rebuilt it with broken bones and spilled blood. Director Gareth Evans and star Iko Uwais created something so brutal, so relentlessly intense, that it left seasoned action fans gasping for air. Welcome back to Pure Action Films. What you're about to hear are 20 facts about the raid that reveal just how insane this production really was. Some of these details are so hardcore they make the film's violence look tame by comparison. Prepare yourself for the truth behind the most punishing action film ever made. The entire film takes place in one building, a 30-story concrete nightmare in Jakarta. But here's what most people don't know. The building was scheduled for demolition. The production crew had complete freedom to destroy walls, blow holes through floors, and turn every room into a battlefield. They weren't just making a movie, they were tearing down reality itself. The raid's entire budget was $1.1 million. For comparison, a single explosion in a Fast and Furious movie costs more than that. Yet, this film delivered more authentic action than productions costing 200 times more. Proof that skill and determination crush big budgets every single time. Iko Uwais wasn't an actor when Gareth Evans discovered him. He was a pencak silat instructor working in Jakarta, earning barely enough to survive. Evans found him through a documentary about Indonesian martial arts and knew immediately he'd found something special. Sometimes the greatest action stars aren't found in Hollywood, they're forged in real combat. Pencak silat isn't just martial arts. It's a combat system designed for survival. Every technique is meant to incapacitate or kill an opponent as quickly as possible. The fighting style uses elbows, knees, and close-quarter brutality that makes other martial arts look like dance. This isn't choreographed fighting. This is weaponized human movement. The legendary hallway fight scene took 7 days to film and required 43 individual camera setups. Actor Joe Taslim, who played Jaka, broke 2 ribs during filming but refused to stop shooting. He finished the entire sequence with broken bones. That's warrior mentality. Director Gareth Evans spent 6 years in Indonesia before making the raid, studying pencak silat and understanding Indonesian action cinema. He learned the language, immersed himself in the culture, and trained alongside martial artists until he could choreograph fights like a master. He didn't just direct the raid, he lived it. Mad Dog's machete rampage was filmed in a single day using real blades sharpened to razor edges. The actors wore hidden protective gear, but the machetes were functional weapons. Every swing, every cut, every brutal strike was millimeters away from causing actual damage. One mistake would have meant real blood, real injury, real disaster. The raid's bone-crushing sound design required recording actual impacts on meat, bones, and concrete. The sound team used sledgehammers on sides of beef, recorded the snapping of chicken bones, and captured the sound of fists hitting raw meat. Every punch you hear is the sound of real destruction. Yayan Ruhian, who played the psychotic Mad Dog, is one of Indonesia's most feared martial artists. He's been training in pencak silat since age 7 and has never lost a sanctioned fight. His reputation for violence is so legendary that criminals in Jakarta actually avoid areas where he teaches. He wasn't acting crazy, he was restraining himself. The drug lab shootout sequence used over 1,500 blank rounds and required a SWAT team consultant to ensure tactical authenticity. Every room breach, every corner clearing, every tactical movement was based on real Indonesian police procedures. This wasn't Hollywood gunplay, this was documented combat technique. When Rama escapes through the building's exterior wall, Uwais performed the entire sequence himself, climbing down a 30-story building using only practical rigging. No green screen, no digital doubles, just a man, a rope, and pure determination. Heights that would terrify stuntmen didn't even make him hesitate. The kitchen fight scene used 47 different blades, each one sharpened and functional. The choreography was so complex that it required 3 weeks of rehearsal, and every actor had to memorize 127 individual moves in perfect sequence. One missed step meant hospitalization. During production, the crew broke over 200 windows to create realistic destruction. But instead of using breakaway glass, they used real windows and developed a system of protective gear hidden under costumes to prevent serious injury. They chose authentic destruction over safety, and somehow nobody died. The raid premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival with zero marketing budget. Word of mouth was so explosive that distributors were bidding against each other before the credits finished rolling. The film sold to 47 countries within a week. Pure quality speaks every language. Before The Raid was even released, Gareth Evans had already written The Raid 2, planning to expand the world and multiply the violence. The success of the first film gave him complete creative freedom for the sequel, and he used it to create something even more brutal. If you thought The Raid was intense, the sequel would redefine insanity. Despite appearing to be purely practical, The Raid used extensive wire work that was so expertly hidden it became invisible. Actors were lifted, thrown, and suspended using cables that were digitally removed in post-production. The best special effects are the ones you never see. The cast trained for 6 months before filming began, but they continued training during production. Every morning started with 2 hours of pencak silat practice, even on shooting days. By the end of filming, several actors had achieved instructor-level proficiency. They didn't just play fighters, they became them. The Raid's success directly influenced major Hollywood productions. John Wick's close-quarters combat, the Marvel films' hand-to-hand sequences, and countless action movies borrowed The Raid's brutal realism and tight choreography. One Indonesian film changed how the entire world makes action movies. Gareth Evans worked directly with Indonesian SWAT teams to ensure tactical authenticity. Real police officers taught the actors proper room-clearing techniques, weapon handling, and urban warfare tactics. Some officers even appear as extras in the film. The realism you see isn't acting, it's actual combat training. The Raid proved that action films could be art, violent, beautiful, devastating art. It showed that with enough skill, passion, and determination, a small team could create something more impactful than any big-budget blockbuster. It didn't just entertain audiences, it educated an entire industry about what real action cinema could achieve. 20 facts that prove The Raid isn't just the greatest action film ever made, it's a masterclass in filmmaking that achieved the impossible with almost nothing. Every bone-crushing moment, every brutal technique, every drop of blood was earned through dedication that bordered on obsession. If these revelations left you craving more deep dives into the films that redefined action cinema, subscribe now and prepare for more brutal truths about the movies that changed everything. Remember, in the world of pure action, there are films that entertain and films that transcend. The Raid doesn't just belong in the second category, it created it. This has been Pure Action Films. Stay relentless.